everybody. Welcome to my madhouse. Excuse me. No video camera today. I'll bring that up for the next one. Oh, cool. Oh, that's right. I just realized that I've linked up a few new sites on here, and I just noticed that I got some of my Patreon pledges on here. So thank you to everybody who did. You people rule. For those of you who are unaware, I, along with attempting to be something of an entertaining streamer, am also trying to be something of an entertaining writer. I have 2 novels and a collection of short stories out, and I'm currently putting up...
Guardian. Let's clear this sector as quickly as possible.
With any luck, we'll be long gone before major reinforcements arrive.
With any luck, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I also have a Patreon where I'm putting up the first draft of my latest novel, plus a whole bunch of other short story stuff, and eventually, if I do things right, hopefully, music. Which is my next step in all of this madness. Okay. No idea what these things are. I'm about to burn. No, I'm on fire. Okay, feel better now. It has been a demanding week so far at work, but hey, I'm surviving it, so we'll see how it goes. Currently, I'm looking forward to... Oh yeah, here, you know, where the obvious entrance is. Maybe I pay attention, it might help. Hey, you know. Thank you. Bring the violence! There's a bonus going for using short-range weapons. You and you can both eat shit. There we go. Getting back into the phase of things. Where are you? Oh, hi. Eat death. So can you. Yes, I know. The guy who sits around talking about peace, etc., etc. Sitting around here encouraging alien creatures to eat death. Well, you know. Sometimes you just gotta get rid of the stress somehow. I'd just as soon do it this way, and blowing off steam in that particular method, than in any other one. So, you know, that's just me. Great. Where is this chest of... Oh, there it is. Yeah, it was only right in front of me. Wake up! Yes. And onward. I'm also going to be helping a friend of mine. She likes to, among other things, she goes out and she refurbishes vintage bicycles. And she's going to be doing a series of videos about it. And I'm kind of psyched to see what she does with it. And I'm helping her out with how video editing and all that other kind of stuff works out. Pardon me. And more bullets. Hi, do you know me? I'm the NRA. More violence. I'm not saying violence is the solution to all problems. I am saying it is a solution to some problems. Great, now what do I do next? Just checking, you know, just to find out. Step. I mean, aside from breaking all the other shit that's around here. Now, what exactly am I supposed to do with these? Aside from, potentially shove it up my ass. I don't know. Yes, watching me stream is more often than not an example of finding out just how completely clueless I can be under certain sets of circumstances. Enjoy the show! Oops, missed. Excuse me. Welcome to joy of the beginning of autumn in Nebraska. And you! And you! And you! Okay, so what exactly am I doing with these things? I might go back and just do another mission at this rate. Alright, nope, nothing there. But it's been kind of fun going back to my friend who's working up ideas for videos. She has a lot of fun going out and finding these bikes and refurbishing them. It's just kind of fun to help somebody along with, an honest to God passion project. Whoopsie, seem to have killed all your people. How unfortunate. Thank you. Alright, so I got those. Next up, hunt the Conflux Architect. Okay, so now I gotta go this way. Alright, cool. Apparently I was doing the right thing without even realizing I had done it. Let me tell you how refreshing that is. Okay, I love the set design here. Well, if anybody ever wants to join me to put together an RP stream or something, let me know. I'll be more than happy to hang out with people. I would offer my assistance to help people understand the concept of streaming, but I'm still working on it, so you're pretty much on your own. Yay. Get the most difficult one out of the way first.
You made that look easy. Time for a bigger challenge.
Yeah, you had to say that, didn't you? Let's not be there when it explodes. Thank you. Speaking of the difficult parts. Onward! Say hello to my little friend. I can't resist saying that sort of thing sometimes. Let's face it, the classic lines never go out of style, even though I've really never been a fan of that film. Ah, time to smash some mosquitoes. Say hello to my grenade. Alright, next. Let's see. Now that I've gotten that one out of the way, I can use a weapon that I like more. Like that one. I mean, it's true, except in this game, more often than not, you don't have to reload swords. But in this game, they demand ammunition, and sometimes I don't want to be nearly as close to the bad guys as I am right now. Say hello to my fist. Darkness has enveloped me. Well, that's kind of the story of my life, really. Yeah, we're immune, I know. Oh, shit, yep, I'm gonna die. Oh yeah, bigger than life. Howdy guys, from here, and I brought a gun. And a shield. And a whole bunch of other things, because apparently there's a surplus of you. Alright, we'll be continuing our tradition of dying early and often as I thin out the herd here. Whee! Oh. Oh, come on. Stomping me like a bug? That's so rude. Now then, what do I do with it? Oh, I bet I know what I do with it. Okay, now the question is, how the hell do I get back up there? Alright, cool. See you in a bit. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm amused that I have mods, and Ben is one of them. I'm not amused that Ben is one of them, it's just more a matter of I have mods. Who would have ever thought I needed mods? Oh, there it is. I go that way. Duh. Hi, yeah, just make those things really fucking obvious. Oh, so much for your shield. And I jumped into my own grenade, because I'm a genius. Dave Nesbitt, super genius. Say hello to my belt-fed friend. Die, and that. And you're immune again. Typical day. More violence, more carnage. Of course, I'm also in the middle of that violence and carnage. Funny how that works. Okay. Oh, stream elements. Okay, cool. Excuse me, I'm checking my shit here. Apparently, I mean, I have to figure out how to work the multi-chat I have now into my chat overlay. Where? There. Yes, thank you. Hey look, it's a copper ball. Oh hey look, it's a guy who needs some damage. You're back behind me? Oh, there you are. Pain in the ass. Teleporting motherfucker. Anyway, yeah. I got a thing.
Watching the young wolf take a whole army by themselves.
Yeah, that'd be me.
It makes me think. Using darkness, Guardians are stronger than ever. More powerful than when we raised the city walls. But
I'll say something nice about
there's
myself.
fewer of us. Old vets like Joxer and Cade are gone. Zavala and Eris lost their ghosts.
You're right. But we've also got more allies than ever. It's not just on us.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, also, quick note, I am what could best be described as a XP whore. Okay, activities and solo ops, need to do 8 of those. Okay, so we're gonna swap to now that that's taken. Who the okay, I was about to say. Oh, well that's nice. I'm not gonna complain about that. Alright, now one of the things I have to do to get my next kind of bump up in terms of power and all of that is break in some weapons, so that's what I'm gonna do. Seasonal hub, we'll do that. We'll do solo again. Creation. Alright, we'll try that. I'm gonna drop that one down. I will select that. I'll take that. Huh. Okay, I definitely will take that. No HUD. Okay, that one is subtle foes. I'll take that one. Alright, so that'll work. Boosted that sucker up. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, that seems to be in good shape. That also seems to be in good shape. Cool. Alright, everything seems to be going. And there was much rejoicing. Well, at least for me anyway. Ooh. And now we're on the
After your
moon!
victory over the Witness, civilians have been volunteering in droves. Unfortunately, they're not battle-hardened enough to hold this sector yet, but they're looking to you for inspiration. Show them what a lone Guardian can do.
One of the cool things about this particular weapon is you'll notice that the ammunition comes out green. What it basically does is it infects your enemies with a virus, which basically does the DOT, and that works out remarkably well. Hi, where are you? Die. Over here. Yes. Eat death. Okay, one down. Greetings. Excuse me while I change magazines to continue my greeting to you. Today is a perfect day to begin a bloodbath. Next target. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes, I'll take the purple ammo. Thank you very much. I've not played this game. Oh! I was kind of curious about that. I mean, I admit he has a point, but we as writers are kind of a whiny bunch. And I'll be the first person to admit it. A significant amount of what I do is me bitching about either not having enough time to write as I sit here playing a video game, or that the words just aren't coming out right. Which is also oftentimes an issue. Oh, is that where that was? Thank you. Only went by it about 100 times. Also, story of my life. It was kind of cool to be involved in that conversation. I appreciate it. The hard part is, like, there seems to be this notion that somehow any artistic endeavor is some kind of, like, strange alchemy that is really only known by a few people, and in reality, a lot of it, you know, I keep thinking of a comment that Glenn Fry made when he talked about sharing an apartment with Jackson Browne is, a lot of it is simply like any other job in the world. It's just elbow grease. Sit there and keep pounding away at the damn thing, and eventually you will have a finished product. And yeah, I know. Artist calling his work product, but I also have to exist in a world full of capitalists, so sadly I also have to speak their language. But I mean, I'm currently sitting here writing stories, and I'd say on average, if I'm really, really good and I get a book out in a year or something, you know, I don't have big distribution or anything along those lines or anybody else who's promoting my stuff for me. And so long story short, I'm not making any money for it, so clearly I'm doing it because it's a passion thing. You know, like every other gamer in the world, on the list of things I love doing, telling stories is always going to be right near the top of the list. And being blessed with a succession of jobs that don't really require a whole lot in the way of higher order thinking, I spend an awful lot of my time. New objective: hunt the subversive wizard. Destroy the subversives! Oh wait, no, wrong thing. But don't have a job that requires a massive amount of higher order thinking, so I've got 8 hours a day to fill in mentally of me just, you know, letting my brain wander and existing in a world of my own creation. And, you know, a world of my own creation is going to have some goddamn superheroes in it, goddammit. And aliens and weird things and technology and, yeah. And there are those other stories I write, but we won't go into that right now, I think. Seeing as how the first ever completed story I ever did was excuse me. Some would say erotica, others call it pornography. I figure erotica is what women like, pornography is what men like, considering the fan mail that my first ever piece of writing got was, the fan mail from it was kind of 50-50 in terms of gender, so I refer to that story as smut.
This will be their last-ditch effort to stop you. Stay sharp.
But realizing that people were actually reading my stuff, and even more so letting me know that they actually enjoyed it, told me I might actually be onto something. Like, I literally got a message from somebody after I put a chapter out telling me, look, I'm digging your story. Not every chapter has to have sex in it as a result. And I'm like, okay, but you know, this is an adult stories website, so you kind of feel like you have to meet a certain set of standards. But suddenly you turn your back, and the next thing you know, you have this moment where you realize I have like one of the top listed stories on this website that has literally thousands of stories on it. And I was like, maybe I'm onto something here. Oh, the thing that's right in front of me, schmuck. Okay. Run! Bastard! I be counting backwards. Fill it full of lead, and sure enough, eventually you will hit something. Meantime, hopefully you're having a decent day as I'm sitting here prattling on about myself over and over and over again. In short, a typical day for me. I'm having to take a break from Once Human just because of scheduling. I've got a series of shows that I'm doing for a friend of mine, and also band rehearsal and a bunch of other things happened all at once. So I'm like, okay, we're going to be taking a break from that. But once I get back to it, I'm going to be going completely mad on that as well. Also, Vosberg and I are going to start showing video. We're actually going to be streaming the songwriting and like rehearsal sessions that we're doing on Sundays, so I should probably make a thing about that. Starting at about 2:30 our time, going until 4:30, 5 o'clock. So if you want to see the 80-20 principle in action, which is 80% of the time is usually Dave and I sitting around bullshitting, complaining about how we can't make the software do what we want, and just genuinely fucking around for about, excuse me, for about 80% of the time. And then the rest of the time, we're actually getting real productive work done. Okay, where's my target today? Oh, there you go. Take that. Oh, how do you do that? It's just got very complicated. Oh, that felt good. Take that.
I feel like we're constantly running from planet to planet, putting out fires.
You can add Kepler to that list now.
Yeah.
But that's what we signed up for. If people like the Guardian don't step up, those fires burn the whole system down.
Whew, okay. We got here. Yep, that can go. Which weapon really needs a kick in the ass? Probably this one. Sweet. Yeah, for me, like, it was kind of a revelation the first time I was in a game. And gee, here's where I have to thank my very, very dear friend Jim Aid out there in the great land of Boston. Really, some of the first games that I ever played where there was like in-house or in-game in-party RP was really completely changed my take on how gaming worked. Because for the longest time in high school, you're mostly just there to like hack, slash, and wreck shit. Caldera. Well, let's give it a try. Customize. Thank you. Healing finishers. Cool. definitely not a fan of that one. Customize. I'm taking it easy on myself today because it was a work day. What are you going to do? Okay. We'll leave that one be. Actually, come to think of it, I can... Oh. Yeah, I can see that. VTM was really, to my mind, the first game that really encouraged flat-out in-party roleplay and made it such a thing where, you know, it became a social element for everybody to join in and jump in on. Okay. That's good, that's good. Okay, checking my shit. That's all good. I can't remember where I read it, but somebody...
Let's clear this sector as quickly as possible.
With any luck, we'll be long gone before major reinforcements arrive.
Yeah, with any luck. Howdy, fellas. I think there was, I can't remember who I heard it from, but it seems as though this would be true, but VTM and the World of Darkness kind of style of play, somebody pointed out that LARPing in that particular method, there have been studies and like teenage kids who actually engage in that, who have issues with socializing and stuff like that, have actually managed to improve their social skills, because, you know, when you, especially when you're dealing with people on the spectrum and stuff like that, haha, blew that one up. Like, the idea that walking in and understanding how to understand the notion of not just that there are rules to any particular social engagement or any social group, but learning how to actually observe and understand how those rules function. You know, role-playing in that particular sense gives kids an opportunity, and especially kids on the spectrum who have never really gotten very good at socializing, you know, get an opportunity to learn, you know, how to do it as a process. And for that, you know, as much as people might razz gamers in general, I think that works out remarkably well. I remember when I was doing my first run at college, we went to an education forum and brought a few games to help that were designed to help understand geopolitics. And we had people standing, you know, teachers who'd been doing this for like freaking forever. Pardon me. Oh dear me, there must be some bad guys down here. I wonder whatever shall I... Well, first I'm gonna wreck all your shit. But having the teachers role-playing out being the leaders of these respective nations, and it was a really great learning experience for everybody involved, especially myself, because I didn't really quite understand the impact it was going to have. And in that case, the impact was an awful lot of the teachers going, you know, I never really, like, when you're standing outside of a situation and you don't have actual, like, social or realistic skin in the game, you can't understand, you know, the pressures that people feel when they're making big, large-scale decisions, and why it is that oftentimes those decisions don't make any rational sense, but from an emotional sense, absolutely make sense, because, you know, somebody did something, now I'm pissed off, now we're going to have an issue. Also seeing a collection of high school teachers standing around like a bunch of D&D nerds, you know, and this was in the era before there was a lot of them being D&D nerds. Doing the, okay, this is the big dice roll moment, and everybody's just lost in that. It was, you know, it's nice to see that some elements of gaming become universal over time. Oops, broke it. Oh, how unfortunate. Seek the ancient harpy. Okay, I think I'm gonna go this way, I think. But I mean, let's face it, especially with gamers in high school and such, yeah, you know, your first few runs through D&D or whatever game you're going to play, you know, let's face it, we're all dealing with our power fantasies, so the notion of R-O-L-E playing as opposed to R-O-L-L playing gets, you know, is something that takes a little while to get used to. Like, Christ, if I wanted to interact with human beings, I would just, you know, join the school newspaper or something. Why, hello, Mr. Wall. Pleasure to see you again. Oh. So sat down and watched Murders with a couple of friends from church, and now that has kicked off an idea for doing a Delta Green game. You've been warned. This is absolutely true, by the way. We as human beings often have a tendency to forget that all those other weirdos out there have feelings too, and oftentimes they're got probably a good reason to be pissed off about something, at least in their own minds. Leaving behind a trail of broken robots. Oh, it just makes the day so much better. I think as a matter of principle, rational thinking has to include, at least in terms of making decisions vis-a-vis other people, is, you know, where their actual, like, emotional state is or what their tendencies are. Huh. Yeah, but Delta Green had a really big release a few years ago. And, yeah, you know, like, some of these people from Pagan Publishing did really well with that one. I think they were like 10 times over their anticipated their, like, you know, the amount of money that they were asking for. I think they actually came up with close to $1 million. I might have that back assword with another game that I was looking at, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that the world did still understand that what it was and that it existed. Oh yeah. Gee, if you're in the mood, I'm not saying online that I have a whole bunch of PDFs stored on Google Drive of the game, but if you want, you know, I'm sure that somebody could send you a share on there. Just saying. That, and also the re-release of Cult went explosive too. I win. Oh, up there, of course. It's always up there. Hello, and welcome to my least favorite game. How the fuck do I get up there? Tell me you're down here. Yes! And it is also the exact same crowd from the original release who are doing both the re-release and a lot of new material. If you're in the mood, Arc Dream Publishing has a few... I'll see if they updated for this year too. Has a few podcast episodes where they had some of the guys, where they basically had some of their panels from Gen Con, and they are really informative and also remarkably entertaining. Anyone who is a gamer knows all of these people and has at times been any one of them. Death! Shit! That was nearly dumb.
Excuse you, Guardians are never really alone. They've always got their ghosts. I'm sure Jinju would agree.
I haven't seen much of her lately. She spends all her time with the Ghost Community Theater. They're mounting a new production, some big secret. I can't wait to see it.
I saw Oryx, the Nightmare Daddy. Disappointing production value.
But yeah, there's now an insane amount of material that's come out with Delta Green over like the last, God, I want to say 6 years? Actually, it probably goes back a little bit further than that, because I remember going to go talk to the guys at Pagan Publishing when I was at Gen Con last, and that was 2010. That one's cool. That one's cool. Excuse me. Ooh, I could hit that one today. Okay, I got plenty of time with that. And that. Alright. So, portal. Seasonal hub. What did I get? Sweet. Love it when I pull that one off. Yeah, I agree. There are times when I'm sitting around and going, sure, okay, being devoured by an elder god would kind of suck. On the other hand, well, at least I wouldn't have to worry about like student loans and shit like that. Yeah. Done that. Okay. Customize. Ooh. Wait. Okay. Stunning somebody with an emote. If I can remember to do that, I'm definitely going to have to put that one up sometime. It's kind of like my ongoing theory about why it is that zombies got remarkably popular. Okay. Increased. I'll deal with that right now. But the idea that we as a society are sitting around going, you know, we could probably use a reset right about now. That, or be perfectly honest, there's more than a few people I could think of that I would happily sit around and like watch them get munched on.
Comms are 5x5. We've got eyes, but nobody on deck. You're on your own.
Not so. The Guardian has heavy weapons and plenty of grenades. Oh, and Ghost.
Right. Thanks, Saint.
I like the fact my ghost gets insulted. Yeah, you know, quite frankly, I'd be perfectly okay with the idea of sitting around and seeing a lot of my least favorite examples of humanity getting eaten. You know, as long as I get to watch prior to me being eaten, I'm totally cool with that. But yeah, having a big, massive issue rather than all of the strange, bizarre shit we've got going on now. Could be kind of refreshing in its own rather unique way. You know, the idea of sitting around and, you know, suddenly, boom, kaiju. Wait, let's do that again. Boom, kaiju. Okay. Oh, look, your head exploded. Oh, heads seem to be exploding all over the place. The interesting part for me is always, you know, the idea of the horror that can't be stopped, but also the horror that doesn't even realize that it's being a horror to anybody else. Yeah, but you know, 10,000 years, who knows? Maybe we can come with a plan by then. We might evolve. I mean, with the way that we're behaving right now, I'm not putting money on it, but you know, it's possible. It could happen. Oh, goody! More bad guys. That's right. Feed my XP sluttery. Sluttery is a technical term. You know, if I did just make it up. Take that, you stealthy motherfucker. And, you know, the best part is that for 10,000 years, it's mostly, ooh, it sprained its ankle and now it's going to come back during that period of time. The scale of time for something that exists on a cosmic level, yeah, slightly different. Also eat hot death. I mean, considering the fact that the majority of known human history does not even reach 10,000 years at this point. Oh, look at that, right in the teeth. Yeah, it's kind of like sitting around in the entire notion of, you know, all of those videos from people who enjoy feeding the doom scrollers on what would happen when Yellowstone finally explodes. You know, Yellow is pretty much comparable in that exact same sense. It's a big, giant, powerful moment that's going to happen at some point in time. And it has absolutely no knowledge or concern that you exist as some sort of sentient being. Take that. That. Six for 6, thank you. Next objective. Okay, which way do I go? Down there. I have... yeah. So, basically, long story short, you know, if we...
Boss incoming! Time for a party!
Saint. So, if we give humanity 10,000 years of relative peace from the Great Dark One, hey, it's an opportunity for us to maybe get up off of this rock and move to another place that eventually will also be overrun by Great Old Ones, but again, we're back to evolution, technology, and all the other things that we might develop in the interim. Who knows, we might become gods ourselves. It's a significant part about what I'm writing about now, so... The idea of, one of the things that I enjoyed about the game, and something that I'll freely admit that I'm borrowing from the game Aberrant, is the sheer scale of power. Like, I just wrote a scene where the main character heads off and, you know, manages to redirect an explosion that's roughly about 45 kilotons of energy. But I also made it a point to at least give some sort of, shall we say, scientific bullshit reason that that sort of thing could work. And I'm pretty certain that Chinese history goes back up, you know, in terms of actually being recorded and such. You know, Chinese history can be documented going back to, like, about, from what I understand, 5,000 years? I mean, that's absolutely insane. Truth. And considering that written language is still a, you know, in terms of technologies, comparatively new. I mean, so much so that excuse me, the Celtic Awam alphabet was actually something that ended up having to be, excuse me. Oh look, there he goes again. Oh, did you bring more friends, or as I call it, XP on the love? Greetings. It would be interesting, I mean, because there's enough, one of the things that I enjoy hearing historians talk about in terms of just mythology. Oh. But sitting there and talking about, you know, it's kind of like, crap, I won't remember his name right now, it'll drive me nuts. But the gentleman who wrote The Hero's Journey. But talking about how it is that certain themes have a tendency to repeat themselves enough times in relative culture. Thank you. He's actually, I was really surprised and kind of happy to find out that the video series of A Hero's Journey that he did with Bill Moyer is up on Night Flight TV right now.
Good work, Guardian. Ikora is babysitting Drifter on Kepler, and Zavala is recovering from his battle with the Witness. That leaves just Crow in Vanguard leadership. He did well against Fikrul, but he cannot be everywhere. The city needs you now more than ever.
Let's see. Boot. Okay. Now then, I'm just kind of interested to see. Oh, that's right. Okay, that makes sense now. Well, okay. How about we do this? But also the idea that there's, I mean, enough stories about, you know, a great flood. Now, mind you, I mean, you know, floods are going to be common throughout any particular culture. And there's kind of an issue both with the oral history and the written history of those. Excuse me. Over time, it's become a thing where, shall we say, certain religious elements love the idea of being able to sit there and say, well, you see, it's, you know, written in all these different cultures. I'm sitting there, you know, so therefore, God had to have made it happen all over the world. And I'm like, no, the entire world has just had issues with, you know, the banks of the river suddenly jumping and people needing to evacuate real fucking quick. But then again, there are people who say I'm a bit of a cynic. Actually, truth be told, I'm feeling fairly confident in the idea that I am, by most standards, and especially amongst my friends, much more of one of those shiny, happy optimists, but it's mostly just because I want the good things to happen. Alrighty then. I'll go that one. And I'm happy for now. Alright. Hi. And tower. That absolutely makes sense. Although occasionally you also run into some societies like Japan, for example, because of the fact that the country effectively sits on an active fault line, um, and so as a result, the vast majority of the construction that was being done there involved paper and light woods. The other big one that was a massive thing that is a part of their culture is, massive conflagrations of fires, common in theirs. But I think a lot of that comes down to, like I said, both the earthquakes, and as a result of the earthquakes, their uh, buildings were remarkably vulnerable to, excuse me, to large-scale fires. An entire city could go up in the space of like hours. And as a matter of fact, it was one of the things that somebody once told me, that the only crime that you could get burned at the stake for in medieval Japan was arson. Okay, portal quests. That one. Yay, I got a thing. Okay, I like that. I really wish they'd drop a search function in here. This would make my... Oh, there we are. Cool. Put that one in play. It's Claudia Black.
Greetings.
Hey, boss. I genuinely missed the sound of your voice. Okay.
One between.
Okay, what else we got? That's good. That's good. Everything else is set. I haven't checked with her recently. Boom. Yeah. And also, let's face it, I mean, the notions of the scale of time compared from one society to another, I'm sure the Chinese sit there and get a chuckle anytime that, we can think of a 2,000 year long timeline.
Hello. Oh, nice choice.
Okay.
Good call with that one. I think that's a good one. Couldn't have picked better myself.
Thank you. All right. Boom. Hello, wall. Smelly kneecap. Okay.
Okay. I can
Big
take
guy
care of it.
Grizz. Blarf and Garf.
How much is that?
Every now and again, like in any MMO, just going through and taking a look at all the different names is a bit of a chuckle. Alright. Okay, well, I gotta do the work thing tomorrow, so I'm gonna wrap for the evening, but thanks for hanging out with me. And let me see. I don't know. I might try streaming tomorrow to try out some more of the software and see what else I can make work. And then Sunday I'll be streaming band rehearsal. And then after that, I'll be setting up another show. There we go. All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have yourself a grand old